Welcome to the Audit Guidebook. All right, let's talk about the grand finale of audit planning, the launch. This is that pivotal moment where all the strategy and preparation wraps up and we get ready to hit the ground running with the actual fieldwork. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures that feeling, right? We're shifting gears, moving from the world of spreadsheets and strategy documents into the real, live environment of testing and gathering evidence. This is where it all comes to life. So, a huge welcome to all of you. Whether you're an accounting student just getting started, a brand new auditor finding your feet, or even a seasoned professional looking for a quick refresher. This is the final explainer in our first module, and it's all about giving you a solid, practical framework to launch your audits with total confidence. Okay, so let's dive right in. Before we can even think about starting fieldwork, we need a rock-solid action plan. And in our world, that indispensable guide is, of course, the audit program. Think of the audit program as your team's mission blueprint. It's so much more than a simple to-do list. It's a detailed, systematic plan that spells out exactly what tests to run, who's going to do them, and when they need to be done. This is the key to making sure nothing falls through the cracks. Now, putting this program together isn't random at all. It's a very deliberate process, as you can see here. You always start by going back to your main audit plan and your risk assessment. From there, you break down the big objectives into small, specific, testable steps. And of course, the final, crucial step is getting that supervisor approval before anyone starts the fieldwork. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This example for a procurement audit really brings it all to life. Just look at the level of detail. Every single step has a clear procedure. It tells you exactly what evidence you need, who's responsible for it, and the timing. It's this level of granularity that really separates a good audit from a great one. So once the audit program is drafted, we move into what I like to call the pre-launch checklist phase. This is all about those final confirmations, just making sure every single piece of the plan has been reviewed, signed off on, and is ready to go before we ever step foot in the client's office. And look, the really crucial thing to get here is that this isn't just about paperwork or ticking boxes. It's about making sure the entire team is on the exact same page internally. Everybody needs to know their role, the objectives, and that they have the resources they need. That internal alignment is the bedrock for a smooth, professional client launch. All right, so now we pivot. We've got our internal house in order, and it's time to face outward. This next phase is all about formally communicating with the auditee and officially kicking off the fieldwork. You know, this first formal contact, it is absolutely critical. You really only get one shot at a first impression, right? This moment sets the psychological tone for the entire engagement. A professional, collaborative, and clear opening can make a world of difference in getting cooperation from the start. And this right here is a perfect example of a best practice. When you lay everything out this clearly, the objectives, the timeline, who's on the team, and what you'll need from them, you just eliminate so much potential confusion. It's all about transparency, which makes the whole process way more efficient for everyone involved. It's so important to understand the difference between these two final steps. They might seem similar, but they have totally different goals. The kickoff meeting is all about alignment. It's the final handshake, making sure everyone's on the same page. Fieldwork, on the other hand, is the work. It's about executing that plan and gathering the evidence. So after all that, you might be thinking, why does all this prep really matter? Well, let's talk about the payoff, because the benefits of doing this right are huge and very, very real. And the numbers here really speak for themselves, don't they? The impact is significant. A professional launch doesn't just help a little. It dramatically improves management cooperation, makes that transition to fieldwork seamless, and establishes your credibility from day one. So when you put it all together, all these benefits, from better cooperation to higher credibility, they all create the perfect environment for an efficient, effective audit with as little friction as possible. And really, that's the whole point of a structured launch process. And that really brings us to the big question you should be asking yourself. Is your audit launch process getting the same level of professional attention and rigor as your planning and testing? Because as we've just seen, how you start can absolutely make or break the entire engagement. And just like that, you've completed Module 1 of the audit planning process with us here on the Audit Guidebook. We've covered the whole journey, from that initial scoping all the way through to this final launch. Thank you for sticking with us. You know, this explainer was really the final piece of that big planning puzzle. To really master the whole thing and see how all the pieces connect, I highly recommend you check out the other explainers in our audit planning series. So, if you got some value out of this deep dive into the audit launch, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the Audit Guidebook channel. Your support is what helps us create more expert content for audit pros just like you. Thanks so much for watching.